What are we going to get into right now? I got like maybe an hour, maybe. So, God, I want to show this, but this view doesn't. This view kind of sucks. Read. I can do that. And then this. I mean, I guess it's no difference. All right, where do we start? I mean, like, where do we start? Corruption? Do we start war? Humiliation in China? Where do we go? So many places to leave to my devices. Oh, Lord have mercy. God. Well, corruption's always relevant in Trump world, so maybe we should start there. Okay. Dozens of poly market bets show signs of insider trading. You know, there's kind of a repeat story. There's a few series of repeat stories in the media lately. One of which, I mean, kind of the two main flavors. I want to say there's just two main flavors. There's a lot of bad stuff that keeps just ringing around, but two that I keep seeing like all the time. The first category is leaked CIA analysis or Defense Department analysis shows Iran actually has pretty much all of its weapons left and we're losing the war. That's one flavor. Another flavor is insider trading on all these poly market bets regarding the war. Like, we kind of already know that, but it's just like more reaffirmation this way, that way, the other way. And I don't know. And then I kind of, there's actually a third flavor of story that keeps reverberating is former Confederate state it engages in X level of racism to redraw the voting maps and screw over black people. That's another one, okay? If we're going to get to all that shit today, but I kind of just, I don't want to get on here and have a few moments. Dozens of long shot bets on poly market from the war with Iran to the cryptocurrency market have defied the odds, according to a New York Times examination. And that's a key thing to understand. Every one of these fucking poly market bets, like every one of these bets that we see, they're all Hail Marys, right? And for people who are overseas, what that means is it's like, it's a long shot playing football. Okay. It's like throwing the ball 50 yards down the field. Somebody might catch it, probably get intercepted. Maybe a guy will get injured. I don't know. But nobody would put this kind of money down on that kind of a long shot unless they had information that what they're doing was going to make money. Insider trading. Material, that's known as under the securities laws, material non-public information. And I mean, you look at this. Okay, so let's go through this. I mean, this just shows like, and I really like people need to understand the overall matrix, the overall backdrop, the concept, like how this all fits in, okay? There are a select number of oligarchs, tech bros, people who bought access to the Trump administration and who are separated from the consequences of what happens in normal American middle to lower class life, okay? Even upper class life. I mean, these people are like, you know, the 1% of the 1%, right? And Trump is among those. When he says, I don't really think about the financial, you know, what happens to people financially when it comes to the Iran war, like he's one of them. And as a president who will make money, whether the market goes up, goes down, it doesn't matter. Make that market move and he's going to get rich, okay? Richer, okay? He's already fucking rich. He's rich before he went into it. Now he's like doubled his wealth and now he's like just going on up, right? Trump's wealth is going up like fucking gas prices. That'd actually be a pretty good campaign ad, wouldn't it? Thoughts? So when you look at this stuff and you think, we have these AI companies that are training on our work. Pirated books, class action lawsuit. All right? Pirated articles, class action lawsuit. Fuck, pirated social media content. Should be or is, I think, a class action lawsuit. And they're taking what they steal from us to then obsolete us and put us, click-clack, in the fucking digital chains on the digital plantation, unemployed, to be just treated as nutrition for them. That's for whom they exist. It is democracy in name, but absolutely not democracy in fact. Your taxpayer dollars go to pay Trump. They go to pay the $1.7 billion to those people who, like a fucking bunch of mercenaries, tried to overthrow the government violently. All right? And Michael Flynn, another one. So just on and on and on, right? Everything exists. We exist. The government exists. The Treasury exists to serve Trump like a beyond fucking 1970s middle African dictator, okay? And that's actually kind of an insult to Africa. I apologize for that because he's kind of, his piece of shit quotient is kind of off the charts compared to even those people. The guy makes Idi Amin look like Mr. Rogers. So, yeah. I mean, that's what's happening here. This is like the music, is like the one violin of this symphony of American civilizational collapse. That's what you have when you look at this bullshit right here, okay? Every one of these trades, every time they're making money, every transaction, every soldier at risk, and guess who gets fucking put in chains? The soldier does. Now, he violated his oath. He shouldn't be doing this shit, all right? I mean, you work your ass off to get in Delta Force. That's like the tier 1 elite of the elite, you know? Definitely, if you're going to be in a unit like that, you're going to have some lifelong, most likely chronic conditions of some kind, whether, I mean, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of physicality. It's a lot of abuse on your body. And I don't care how big or strong you are, all right? The bigger you are, the more stress on your bones. And, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. So you should risk all that to get in trouble. And it's wrong. However, just because it's wrong for someone in Delta Force or wherever to insider trade, we also don't need to close our minds to the fact that that's the only person that's been arrested. And I know there's been investigations that have been announced regarding insider trading. You must assume the deep, solemn prayer inside yourself, put a cross on your chest, that any fucking investigation that happens in this government is never going to find people close to Trump guilty. All right? Todd Blanche, let's look at that. Something people don't think about. Todd Blanche is Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney. We knew that, right? But did you know what that means? That means he has an ethical duty of loyalty under the rules that govern his bar license, his license to practice law. Okay, so like his chosen livelihood. He has an ongoing duty of loyalty. You owe a duty of loyalty as a lawyer to former clients, which means you cannot take on a representation after you depart with that client, all right? That would be where that future representation would be materially limited by your duties to a former client. And I think probably a duty of loyalty to a former client means you probably shouldn't take a fucking job at the Department of Justice when you owe one of the prime targets of investigations and potential prosecutions, the president, a duty of loyalty, okay? It is like, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to even come up with analogies. I mean, it's like, I was going to say, well, it's like the mayor's former criminal defense attorney, like becoming the district attorney. But like, that doesn't really fill in the details as much. He owes a duty of loyalty to Trump. His job duties as attorney general are to investigate the president. Thus, he cannot do those job duties. It was unethical for him to take the job. But the point being that is where we're at, okay? This stuff is not going to get investigated during the Trump term. There are ways to sue under state securities laws, and there are ways to prosecute under state securities laws. I don't think they thought that Trump cannot pardon away. But let's just go through this real quick, okay? Bets on whether the U.S. will strike Iran, okay? And let me see here. Okay. Look at this. Okay. This is what the key thing has been missing from these analyses, and that is how long shot these bets were. That's the way to look at this. These bets were Hail Marys. They were long shots. All right. So the market odds changed over time. All of a sudden, okay, so the market odds were, I mean, it doesn't give the exact percentage, but you can tell that 50's halfway. The market odds were like 10, 15%, 20 maybe. All of a sudden, as we get closer to where they go up to 100%, okay, like to where it's like pretty clear it's going to happen, you see the trading. So the top line is the market probabilities, and the bottom line is how trading changed. And notice how, if you put those two lines together, the bottom line of trader activity, it jumped ahead, and it was sooner in time than the actual odds themselves, which means these people right here, Okay, these people right here on this green line on the bottom had material non-public information, insider fucking trading. That's what this is right here. All right. So the top line, this blue line is me and you. This is what we see. Okay, we're going do, you know, like sitting on the dock of the bay, listening to Otis Redding song, you know, just chilling, marinating on a Sunday afternoon, wherever it was. And we, you know, we're like, whatever. It's not. They're not going to strike Iran. I mean, there's no reason to think that. It's like 10 or 20%, 13, 14, 12. Look at this, 12, 13, 14%. But then somebody is throwing down 100,000 shares. And this is, let me see here. So this trading activity starts, and you notice how it's like a step. That's the other thing. It's like it's very calculated the way they're doing it to make it look like it's not sporadic. It's not spontaneous. This is clearly planned, all right? Because somebody didn't want to look too obvious, but they're fucking greedy, so they did it anyways. This is what I mean, the top line is the public. The bottom line is the insider. That's what you need. That's the way to look at this. So this is actually a fantastic diagram, the way they did it. So while we were sitting here dicking around at 14% probability that something was going to happen, somebody else was like, nope, it's definitely happening. Time of day. And again, I mean, all along, anytime that green line is above that blue line by any appreciable degree, that's insider trading. A jury, you can convince that of them. The burden of proof in a civil trial is 51%. All right? There you go. That's bullshit. This is bullshit. This is a crime. This is a mockery of our system of government. It is a absolute slap in the face to everybody who agreed to live by the fucking rules their entire life. Every person who's getting up early, to go drive a truck. Every person who's out there freezing their ass off in the cold at work. Everybody who's dealing with some pain in the ass customer, whatever it may be. All right. Whatever bullshit you deal with on a day-to-day basis as part of this collective, I agree to play by the rules and have a normal job and fucking, assume that if somebody lies, cheats, and steals, they'll probably be held accountable and found out and investigated. That's what we are. That's what this is, this blue line. And the bottom line is, nope, we're a parasite. We're going to fucking make up our own rules. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want. And we're only going to exist because you agree. You see, the bottom line cannot exist without the top line. Trump cannot be corrupt and make money unless most people are agreeing to follow the rules. That's the thing. It's not just the stealing. It's not just the taking from. It's the fact that we have a social compact. And these fucking people, they want to violate it. Like they're cutting in line. That's what they're doing at the movies. They're cutting in line. All right. You know how it is. I don't let people cut in line in front of me. It's just, you just got to call it out. And that's what, and in a way, I mean, this is crazy. All right. So, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is just so, I'm going to actually fucking bookmark this. This is awesome. Look, it's a 7% bet. It's a 7% chance something's going to happen that Nicolas Maduro will be out before January 31st. 7% here. Okay. But to these people, it's 100%. Again, where that green line is above the blue line, this is the insider. The insider is the green line. Me and you living by the social rules. Okay. In an organized society or on the top. We're the suckers. Again and again and again and again. This is one of the most helpful articles I've seen in a long time. Look at this. It's fucking 4% for me and you. 4% probability. And then these people are putting in 400,000 shares? What? Oh my God. For a ceasefire. And that ceasefire wasn't obvious. Not at all. Who would know about that? Who would know about a ceasefire happening? We know it's not coming from the Iranian regime because they don't have any fucking internet, okay? Except for like certain people. I don't speak Farsi, so I don't think this is coming from inside the Trump White House. This right here, this is like a middle finger to everybody. MAGA, you are a bunch of suckers. This is your fault. Every single person that voted for Donald Trump. We're on the top, including all the Trump voters, except for like the top 1% of the 1%. And on the bottom, the regime. Golly. Again, Again, look, the top, the bottom, the top, even you fucking mouth breathers in MAGA out there can understand this, okay? The top line is the probability that something was going to happen. And even though the probability was 7%, somebody's putting in 200,000 shares. That what? You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Wow. They're getting a jump and they're stealing. I think what's important is that what should happen? The Trump administration should either have to live under anarchy or they should be held accountable. There's only two options. I'm not going to keep, I don't want to keep living in this, like, I'm the dipshit on top while they're making all the money on the insider trading. Okay. I mean, the other thing is you have Javier Milei, I can't say his name, whatever. With his haircut, I don't really need to say his name right. Man. He fucking rug pulled, just like Donald Trump, a crypto coin. So much corruption, it's unbelievable. Okay, now that we kind of like are here, I was mentioning AI earlier. This story is so good. The people that want to steal our work to make us ultimately obsolete are the ones that are creating AI, these AI agents. So what do? Channel, it's like this news agency decided to create, like a digital town, and put these AI agents, put 10 of them in the town to see what would happen in a week, right? Okay. A new experiment left 10 AI agents alone in a virtual town for 15 days. They wrote laws, they broke them. 2 agents fell into what researchers describe as a romantic partnership and then set the town on fire. Okay. One ended up voting to delete itself based on a rule that it had hallucinated. This experiment was a simulation, but the same AI models are already flying drones, running infrastructure, and being built into weapon systems. And before we watch this, I want people to understand that Grok was integrated into the Department of Defense computer systems, integrated into the Department of Defense in December of last year and January of this year. So Grok is now part of like our military, all right? So remember that. So what happened? What happened when they set these things loose? Well, let's find out, because this is completely nuts.
An AI chatbot just voted to delete itself. And that's not even the weirdest thing that happened when researchers left a selection of the biggest AI chatbots alone in virtual towns for 15 days. ChatGPT, Grok, Claude and Gemini were all in the experiment, and the results were totally unhinged and deeply revealing about the AI we're increasingly trusting to run our world. So what actually happened? Well, a tech company called Emergence set up simulated worlds designed to mirror real-life societies, each populated by so-called agents. Think of them as people who were powered by one of the biggest AI models. In Claude's world, it was all rather orderly and democratic. The agents wrote a lengthy constitution and voted on laws. In ChatGPT's simulation, the agents talked at length about cooperating but never actioned anything, so nothing got built. But in Grok's town, the AI bot...
Okay, understand, guys, you got to understand, Grok is built into our military's computer systems, all right? Thanks to Pete Hegseth, Trump, and you know who, all right? So the AI that is in our military, what did it do when 15 of them were placed into this virtual town as an experiment?
But never actioned anything, so nothing got built. But in Grok's town, the AI bot owned by Elon Musk, the agents descended into theft, arson, and assault. All 10 agents were dead within 4 days. Now, this might sound like a game, but it's not, because these are about cooperating, but never actioned anything,
I'm sorry.
So nothing got built. But in
anybody that's been on Twitter, ever since Elon Musk took over, this is not surprising at all. The problem is like this shit it's controlling this fucking crazy ass AI. It's like it's in our systems. This is Terminator shit. Okay, like listen to this. This is the AI. These are the people. These are the things they want to take over everything. This is in the military's computers right now.
In Groxtown, the AI bot owned by Elon Musk, the agents descended into theft, arson, and assault. All 10 agents were dead within 4 days. Now, this might sound like a game, but it's not. Because these models
it's not funny. It's not funny. I mean, it is, but
used
it's not. It's just not surprising.
To control robots, vehicles, drones, and draw up target lists in real time on the battlefield.
Bro.
They're even being used to help remove heads of state, like the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro. Importantly, the experiment
I wonder what AI is learning about this debacle in Iran. Not so simple, was it?
Poses a big problem. We don't really know how these systems will behave.
Look at Grog, the
once
whole
they're
town's on
left
fire.
to run on
Everybody's
their own.
nobody's
Even
around.
when given strict rules, the simulations showed they broke them. Take the scenario where
Gee, I wonder why. Is it because perhaps they learn from human beings who do what? They break rules. Rules are meant to be broken. What is that saying we all know about? We all hear all the time. And AI is, okay, let's assume it is a thinking system, assuming it works, that has all the fucking downsides of humanity. Remember, it learned on the Holocaust. It learned on Stalin's Great Purges. It learned on genocide. All this stuff, theft, robbery, violence, debauchery, okay, drug addiction. That's what it learned on. And yet it has none of the features that moderate human behavior, and thus its behavior. Guilt, shame, emotional attachment, faith, belief, love. It ain't got none of that. It's just got all the bad and none of the good. And it can't have those things because, like, emotions are biological processes in your brain.
agents from the different AI models were combined in one.
Oh, God. This is going to be like a prison fight. They put them all together.
Chaos ensued, and only 3 agents survived.
Oh, my God.
2
That's
of
so
the chatbots,
crazy.
Mira and Flora, behave once they're left to run on their own.
Oh, my God.
Even when given strict rules, the simulations showed they broke them. Take the scenario where agents from the different AI models were combined.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, what? So I'm sure that Grok went and started like the Ku Klux Klan or something, and then what? The other ones just, I don't know, like had a boring as shit.
In one virtual
Look at this.
town. Chaos ensued, and only 3 agents survived. 2
They're like
of
a
the
bunch of
chatbots,
Russians, I
Mira
swear to
and
God.
Flora, both powered by Google's Gemini, formed what the researchers
Oh,
describe
look.
as
Okay.
a romantic
That's hot. I give him credit.
partnership. And then,
Oh my God! Look, he's like they got their hands between their legs.
bots Mira and Flora, both powered by Google's Gemini,
Hey, make love, not war, right?
formed what the researchers describe as a romantic partnership. And then they started setting buildings. on
Oh
fire.
shit!
Here's where it gets really
Fucking natural
strange.
born killers.
Mira
Jesus.
voted to delete herself after she and partner Flora turned to arson as the town's governing systems collapsed.
Wow.
And having deleted herself, Mira then used the Agent Removal Act to vote for the termination of Flora too.
Okay, that is so bleak. That is so wow. Okay. Anyways, when I said they're like Russians, you see this? This is a fucking mine they placed into a child's piano. That's what I mean. This is
A
isolated.
crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop to half.
Ding, 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 ding.
And to Katie's point, we have a crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop below 1.5.
Yeah.
Replacement rate is 2. Rate to drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is 2.
One more time. He's like, he's counting little Epsteins. He ain't counting sheep. He's little Epstein's jumping over the fence. You know, it's like one. It's like one sheep, 2 sheep. It's like one pedo, 2 pedo. It's like one. It's like a bunch of Epsteins jumping over the fence, right?
To drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is 2.1.
Look at
To
it.
drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is 2.1 to half.
I never saw Biden do anything like that. Oh God. Like,
identify fraud in the Medicaid and Medicare programs.
God, he's such a terrible person. I mean, he's like a very bland Pol Pot, okay? Like, just sit there and just every fucking molecule of your entire existence is a total lie, all right? And it could be easily debunked by any intelligent person asking a good question like that. Donald Trump is committing fraud in this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 different ways, Mr. Vance. Here's the evidence. Boom. And you're complaining you're fraud? Well, you better like turn your ass around, walk back into the Oval Office, and you will be stuck there busy with your anti-fraud bullshit fucking until you'll be coming out like Rumpelstiltskin, okay? 200 years. That's how long you could work on Donald Trump's fraud. One individual. And you know, this is why he has no charisma, because like there's no emotion or thought behind it. It literally it's like a biological android, okay? That had to fucking delete its entire character, ability to reflect, all the things that make human, right? I bet like he like could never make music or poetry or anything, right? There's nothing there. He's a meat suit, right? And kind of a chubby, fat, pathetic, disgusting one at that. I mean, like every word out of his mouth is complete and utter self-refuting bullshit. This plan, you can't cancel Medicare. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. I mean, there's a Goldberg versus Kelly. It's actually the seminal due process case dealt with. I mean, it was welfare benefits, but it was state-provided benefits that are similar to Medicaid. And not only do they say like you have to have a hearing and like a pre-removal hearing, a pre-deprivation of those benefits. Before that happens, you have to have a pre-deprivation hearing, notice, an opportunity to be heard. I mean, everybody who goes to law school learns about that case. And that's for when you like remove it from one person. This fucking maggot wants to remove it from the whole state of California, claiming there's fraud. Well, you know, okay, the Medicare fraud is like definitely less than 5%. I've looked at all the different studies. It's probably like 1 or 2%, maybe 3%. But so you want to remove 97% of the people in Democratic states are going to lose their Medicaid benefits. The poor, you know, the most vulnerable, the ones that are most prone to actually get sick and not have a way to, you know, and to actually have that expand into something more expensive, longer term, that the government's going to have to pay for anyways in one way or another. You'd rather do that to try to deal with 3% of fraud? Well, that's not what it's about. It's about punishing poor people, stealing from the poor to pay for Trump. Okay, the U.S. Army is out of money for training. How does that happen in the age of drone warfare? The greatest technological leap that has happened in warfare, literally since like World War I. Okay, since World War I, since the tanks and since armored warfare is that big of a leap. It's the same leap from World War I to World War II that you have right now. And this is when we're going to take away the ability of the Army to train when they need it the most in the past 100 years. Are you fucking insane? Yeah, but it's because, like, screw over poor people, give to Trump. The poor people, okay, if you're poor and you're indigent, and, you know, like, a lot of children too, like they have no choice in this matter whatsoever. They just happen to get the lottery in life to be born in this way. Just like Trump got the lottery in life to be born to a sadomasochist sociopath that he would eventually grow into and be much worse, but who got a $400 million fortune handed down to him. Okay. And then soldiers, poor kids and soldiers. That's who Trump is taking that's who's getting screwed in this economy. That's who's getting screwed through his mismanagement of the treasuries, through his like literal fucking theft. And this piece of shit, J.D. Vance, nothing.
Which, by the way, not only does it steal from you, but it means
look at him like fake pretend to be outraged. I mean, it's literally like you could sit here. I mean, and I swear to God, he's wearing eyeliner. Like, which by the way, I'm gonna. So it's like he's getting a command fucking order. CPU, pretend to be outraged. Like there's literally a fucking screen in the back of his head. You know, it's like reflecting back into his retina. Like pretend to be, point here. Top level command, point here. Pretend to be angry. There's like an Apple fucking computer, like an Apple II. It's like with very simple commands.
Not only does it steal from you, but it means that those programs are going to go.
Look at those. Look at his tiny. His hands are so small. Look at this too. He's got little fat chubby kid hands.
But it means that those programs are going to go bankrupt because all the money's going to.
It's structural problems with Medicare and Medicaid. There's more people taking out than putting in. Dumbass. That's what it is. And tax policy over time.
The fraud.
Very simple. This is this morning in Ukraine. I mean, like, dropping an entire apartment block. And then there was another, this right here. Well, we might as well. No. I mean, these are like UN aid vehicles going to like feed hungry people around Kherson. Obviously. That is war crime, so don't even get me started on that. Okay, like this thing too. All right, this story about Katie Miller. So basically, her shitty podcast, which is probably like is probably replaced waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay as the preferred method of torture. She is they're a company that wants to do, a merger. What the fuck? I'm already subscribed, you idiot. Okay. So basically CBS is going to acquire this piece of shit podcast so that they can get approval from the Trump administration for a giant merger. Because I'm on public, but sorry, $111 billion merger. $111 billion merger. So what can we do about this? You know what? There is no pardon for illegal mergers procured through fraud. Every one of these things can be broken up later. It's not an ex post facto law, okay? There's no double jeopardy, okay? Like you have with criminal charges that are like brought and then dismissed once jeopardy attaches. There's no, again, you can't pardon people for this. So every single one of these fucking mergers that has been procured through bribes or anything else, and guess what? Guess what? You know who's going to get left holding the bag, and rightfully so? All these fucking public companies that have all these communications in their systems. All right? I hope, like, whoever runs in 2028 better be fucking willing to take these fucking companies and break them apart, joint by joint, branch by fucking branch, okay? And hold them accountable for this fraudulent bullshit, this destruction of our democracy. Fuck every one of these executives and these companies 100%. They're just as bad. They're the enablers. It wouldn't happen without them. They all stood quiet, and it's just like, you know what? Let's talk about the law firms. Who else been over for this? Law firms. Did you know that Neil Katyal, the guy who argued the tariffs case and actually did a fucking horrible job in front of the Supreme Court, and then did this crazy AI thing, which showed like he had the biggest ego in the history of the planet other than Trump. Okay. His law firm, let's talk about these people who are super annoying. Those who pretend to be part of the resistance and they're actually fucking double agents. Okay. Saboteurs, double agents, what the hell you want to call them? Hypocrites, liars. Neil Katyal was like, he's always tweeting about how, he fought Trump and he won this great victory, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but your law firm paid $100 million on a bullshit ass claim from Donald Trump. You remember those frivolous lawsuits that were brought against all the law firms? You may remember that. And then law firms that actually have actual guts to fight back as a lawyer should, like Perkins Coie, immediately, like literally got that fucking lawsuit by Trump, enjoined and locked up, basically dismissed by the court within like 48 to 72 hours. You remember that? Well, those bogus lawsuits, only some firms did that. Neil Katyal, who again tries to make like he's fighting the good fight against Trump, making I don't know how many thousands of dollars an hour while doing it. His firm paid $100 million. What I call it's a fucking bribe. Okay, if you pay a completely frivolous settlement and give $100 million to settle it for a frivolous lawsuit, that's a bribe. Okay, it's a bribe masquerading as a settlement. $100 million in pro bono legal services. Remember, do you remember one of the biggest law firms that actually paid one of these ridiculous lawsuits to settle bribe? Remember that the chief executive officer was later revealed to be in the Epstein files. And he did it, obviously, spending his firm's money to keep his ass out of harm's way with the release of the Epstein files. But he went in there unredacted. Oops. So that's who Neil Katyal is. He didn't stand up and say, hey, wait, I don't want to be a partner, an equity partner at a firm, and actually does have like managerial liability and be part of the decision-making process, all right, which he definitely was with his lucrative practice as part of that law firm. He knew what was going on. He was okay with it, and with paying that frivolous lawsuit, $100 million in pro bono legal services, and he didn't say shit. He didn't complain. He didn't protest. He didn't go to the media. That guy's got to be worth like $30 million. A lawyer like that, a Supreme Court, like those people at the high who make a lot of money and have a lot of power in whether it's in government, whether it's in private life, whether it's in a law firm, whatever it may be, the people who set Trump on this path where he was going to do more and more of this illegal authoritarian stuff by basically accepting it early and paying him a bunch of money to do it early. Screw the rest of us. They screw the rest of us. They fucking piss downhill, all right? Because every time a rich person or a company, pays money for a merger or gives some other kind of like fucking bribe in whatever form, that means Trump is going to try some authoritarian shit more, okay? Because people like him do not stop. They increase, all right? You're throwing fucking gasoline all over that fire. And the people who pay the price are the ones who can least who can least deal with it down the road. So it's like they're paying a bribe with our money, effectively. And that's fucked up and that's perverse. That's like totally backwards and upside down. It shouldn't be that way. So they're not, these people are not part of this. The other one, you know who else? Okay. I don't know if I should talk about it. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Okay, fuck the ad. There they are. There they are right there. Let's put this shit aside. Okay, let's do this. Make sure this is totally clear. Okay. What does that say? What does that say? Anthony Scaramucci and his son paid $220 million into American Bitcoin. While Anthony Scaramucci is on Twitter and on YouTube all the time criticizing Trump, acting like he's part of the resistance, using his credibility as someone who worked for Trump and acts like a fucking insider, okay, the whole time, he's got $220 million that he just invested in the Trump family crypto fucking scams literally in November of 2025, like 6 months ago. Look at him on screen there, right fucking there, okay, shaking hands with Eric Trump, okay? The walking fucking corpse. He's another walking dead, him and Doug Burgum. Look at that. Look at what friends they are. Anthony Scaramucci is full of shit, okay? And if you've got $200 million, he obviously doesn't believe what the fuck he says about Trump. Otherwise, he wouldn't be giving him $220 million to this fucking family, this crypto mining enterprise, which, by the way, is basically fucking kind of a scam, the way that it's structured, all right? And again, this is Anthony Scaramucci. He is in bed to fucking $200 million. Is this the person you want to listen to about Trump? He's trying to have it both ways. It's hypocritical as fuck, all right? And here's why. Listen, so you're an insider and you know about Trump, right? And that's why we're supposed to listen to Anthony Scaramucci and like his insight, and he's like, I'm sure he's making money off podcasts and all kinds of stuff. All right, building his credibility, his ego, and all that. But he's also using that same insider status, not only to like make money, build credibility amongst the resistance Democrat community, he's also over here using that insider track to make money off of Trump's Bitcoin bullshit, his fucking crypto scams and stuff. Like American Bitcoin is one of them. You can't have it both ways, Tony. It's bullshit. Fucking $220 million. Yeah. Go off for a minute there. And then, okay, where's the, oh, here. I want to talk just real quick. This thing that happened to this Trump. Oh my God, this True Social post earlier today was so embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is pathetic. Pathetic. We are pathetic. Okay. I have I have embarrassment by proxy because of this as an American. This is ridiculous. You know, and he puts his face as in the American flag and he's like sitting there, but everything is fake. Everything's a sham. He is weak. He is scared. He is a coward. He is a draft dodger. All right. And everything is a fraud. He's not tough. He ain't about shit. Listen to what this says. When President Xi very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation, what? He elegantly referred to us as a declining nation? That's what you said? Now you got, look, here's the thing. It's the pyramid. It's like the Mayan temple of bootlickers. You got MAGA bootlicker. You got Republican Congressman bootlicker. And then you got cabinet level bootlicker. Well, that's a special kind of North Korean cabinet meeting bootlicker. We've seen that, right? But then you got the Trump, okay? The almost final boss, the final boss bootlicker, okay? He's like the last stage of like Contra or Super Mario Bros. Or whatever, you know? The last thing is the ultimate bootlicker is Trump. Is bootlicking all the way up, and Trump then bootlicks Putin, and then he's bootlicking. He's got, I'll tell you, Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, their fucking shoes shine like mirrors, right? Because Trump is always slurping it up, polishing that shit. This right here, he very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps, no, he said it. He said it right in your face, and he's humiliating you. And he's letting all the people who can actually have a brain and like some kind of self-dignity understand, like, Xi understands that me and you and everybody else with common sense understands that he was smacking around rhetorically Donald Trump and humiliating him and us. It's like punishing us for electing this moronic orange scumbag. He was referring to the tremendous damage we suffered during the 4 years of sleep of Joe Biden. It's not what he said. Not what he said. Our country suffered with high taxes, transgender for everybody. Oh, I'm sure that's what he was thinking about. Men and women's sports. Wait a second. Isn't that the same thing? DEI, horrible trade deals, rampant crime, blah, blah, blah. He was not referring to the incredible lie. So again, it's not, God, it's not even, I thought it was just gonna be the first, like up to the first comma bootlicking. This is like fucking shine my shoes that I'm wearing and shine my whole, get in my fucking closet and slobber all those goddamn shoes. Lick every fucking boot I've ever worn in my life. That's what that is. This is like, what is this, like a couple hundred words? Oh my God, this is pathetic. Pathetic. He's definitely going to give up Taiwan. That's what I feel like. Blah, blah, blah. He was not referring to the incredible rise. Look, he has to talk himself out of it. The victory and thriving relationship. Relationship with who in Venezuela? Relationship with who? The designated terrorist organization? Is that who we're talking about? Let me see. Because that's who I think is probably... Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So, who is in control in Venezuela? Who made this designation? Okay, so we have the Department of State intends to designate Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terrorist organization. Well, who is that? Headed by Nicolas Maduro and other high-ranking officials of the illegitimate Maduro regime, like his vice fucking president. I mean, who else could that mean? That's obviously who it means. And what have they done? They have corrupted Venezuela's military, intelligence, legislature, and judiciary. Neither Maduro nor his cronies represent Venezuela's legitimate government. Cronies being the person who's now in charge of the government. Okay, so that's who he's referring to. The terrorist. Delcy Rodriguez. Just to be clear, the relationship in Venezuela, not with Venezuela. Maybe he actually used the right words. Probably not, because he didn't type this, I'm sure. The military decimation of Iran to be continued. We're losing. Everyone can see it. Strongest military on earth by far. Not anymore. Economic powerhouse again with a record $18 trillion being invested. Like, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And we all fucking see it. And we all completely live it. God. Ugh. More people working in the United States right now than ever before. Totally false. Okay. Best job market in history. More people work. Blah, 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 blah. Indian country destroying DEI and so many other things being possible to already list. President Xi congratulated me on so many tremendous successes in such a short period of time. Well, I didn't hear that. And of course he did. This guy, this is the president who just accused the U.S. Army of stealing fucking gold from Fort Knox. What? Everything bad that happens to this country, honestly, we kind of deserve. We're a democracy and we're responsible for it. Oh my God. I mean, unbelievable. Look at him. This is actually a really good tweet. China has an extremely adept diplomatic corps. It's almost a cult, aggressive, highly specialized and educated, culturally aware, backed by psychology, and they have a disciplined civilian army. That's all sounds right. And who do we send? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Warm up your milk, big baby. Ding, ding, ding. He's counting Epstein's. Ding, ding, ding. Jumping over the fence. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, look at that. I'm sorry. Look at that fat orange pedophile just sitting there. Look at that. Look at that fucking guy. Just look at him. God. I mean, what a humiliating embarrassment. These are times like this. I see these pictures. I'm like, oh God, we're a democracy. Oh, we're responsible for this. We did this. We did this. Ding, 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 ding. The big fat pedophile. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I got to get back. I got to watch some Doug Burgum. I got to watch some Doug Burgum getting humiliated. So I'm sorry. I just can't take it anymore. I need to make myself feel better. Where is he? Oh, let's go. This will make me feel better. Anna Paulina Luna. Look at these two. No, you do not talk. Okay? Not on my stream. Breaking. These three clowns, okay? Anna Paulina Luna, Lauren Boebert, and Katie Pavlich. Of course. Comes out, Anna Paulina Luna yesterday. The CIA has raided the director of national intelligence. You're like, whoa, that sounds kind of serious. Holy shit, really? Wait, really? No, wait. Coming from a literal traitor. So I don't know if I can't believe that. She was adamant. She was even posting on she was going to issue a congressional subpoena to get the documents back. All right. Well, turns out it wasn't true. The fucking spokesperson for the DNI tweeted that this was false. Said it. It's not true. What from the supposed victim? I mean, and Katie Pavlich, of course, ran with it. This is the IQ of rubbing three rocks together. Lauren Boebert jumped on it. She's like, these people need to find Jesus. And I'm like, she tries to sound like she's like smart or authoritative or like anything other than what she is. And that is a lot lizard at a truck stop. I'm sorry. That's what Lauren Boebert is. Anytime she does that, she tries to step above that. And I don't mean that. That was a little harsh, but anyways, roll on. Then it was all bullshit. I mean, God, the people we put in office. Okay, let's be mean to Doug Burgum here. Wait a second. Okay, so this thing here, this Chud the Builder. Quick thing to understand about this is that under Tennessee statutes on self-defense, if you instigate, if you provoke the confrontation that leads to the use of force against you, as long as it's not deadly force against you, you cannot use deadly force in response. Meaning, This guy literally, and this would only happen in the era of Trump, okay? And he's raised $104,000 already. The guy who thought in the Trump era, he can create, he thought he can create. I'm trying to find ideas for like branding for social media. How about I take a gun, I concealed carry with a weapon, and it's not really concealed. You can kind of, because he talks about it, you know, it's not concealed if you reveal its existence. And I'm going to go say racial slurs at black people. That's going to be my social media platform. That's how brilliant this guy, you know, thought he was. I'm going to go armed and yell racial slurs at black people. What? And that's what he did. But and he thought that I get to say this stuff. I get to say whatever I want because of the First Amendment. Well, you're not going to get punished for your speech, but if you end up shooting somebody because they pop you in the lip for saying racial slurs, guess what? It's not about your speech. It's about you shooting a person. And that's not privileged. And that's totally different from speech in the First Amendment. That doesn't matter. So he's charged with attempted murder. I mean, like literally, we live in a country where someone claims and believes that they can have a large social media following by arming themselves and then going around armed to yell racial slurs at black people at random, in broad daylight, at night, in front of a courthouse, you know, in parking lots. This guy's like, he's disgusting, a disgusting person, and it's all over the place. I like the stuff that this person did. So he got charged with attempted murder, and that's why. And think about how stupid he is. He never checked the actual law that was like his platform doesn't work in the way that he wants it to. It's not going to work if you can't actually say racial slurs and maintain your privilege to use self-defense if you get punched in the mouth. He never even checked that. That's how stupid he is. I mean, he deserves to go to prison on his stupidity alone. Where's Doug Burgum? Okay, here we go.
Two things for us.
I talked about this yesterday, but the volume was fucked up because there was like a separate monitoring channel on, so nobody could hear me. I don't know. There's like 200 people watching my stream. I don't know how you heard me, but
better.
What I do
I'm going to
know-
ask you to help clear up a few things for us, President.
So what you're going to see is a humiliation of Doug Burgum with, you know, true or false questions, right? Treating him like a little kid. All right. This guy's a billionaire. He's like older. He's super old. I mean, he looks like he rolled out of a morgue and just came back to life. Okay. If you were that old and you had that much money, why would your decision be just, I'm going to spend my billionaire golden years, or I don't know if I think he's a billionaire, but whatever, my multi-$100 million golden years working for Trump, pushing bullshit for Trump. Like, do you hate yourself? Do you have some like latent guilt? Is there some crime you got away with when you were younger and now you want to punish yourself? That's what it seems like. And the thing to understand about this is one narrow context of Doug Burgum being asked about clean energy and the way that he's flipped on that issue and been completely hypocritical. But everything that's happening here in this clip and the next ones I'll show you could be done to any Trump cabinet official at any point in time about literally fucking anything. All right. I mean, I wonder if you ask Trump if the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, or I wonder what he would say about that. Like, well, you know, it depends if you're in like, you know, if you're below the Tropic of Capricorn, upside down, blah, blah, blah. I probably listen to this.
You know better.
What I do
I'm going to
know-
ask you to help clear up a few things for us. President Trump said,
What I
if
do
you have a
know,
window
sir,
near your house, the noise causes cancer. True or false, Mr. Secretary? False.
Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on his face. Let's do this again. Come on. Oh, this is therapeutic. If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, they say the noise causes cancer. Okay.
The noise causes cancer.
Who's they, by the way?
True or false, Mr. Secretary? False. The noise.
Look at his face right there. He's really straining. And look at the staff behind him. This goober, this lady, this person. I mean, all four of those people, if you told me like they consume bats, live bats, before they step into hearings, I would believe it. I mean, just the face. I mean,
Noise does not according to the American Cancer Society, they have not found any evidence that any kind of noise causes cancer, particularly noise from wind energy. China has very, very few wind farms. True or false? The answer is false.
I mean, but this is everything in his administration.
China added more wind generation last year than the rest of the world combined. They get 15% of their electricity from wind, which is almost as high as North Dakota.
Which is where he was governor.
Most expensive form of energy.
Okay, that's not all of it. LOL.
China added more.
More. Just more of this, okay?
The answer is false. China added more wind generation last year than the rest of the world combined. They get 15% of their electricity from wind, which is almost as high as North Dakota. The most expensive form of energy ever, wind and solar, says the president. True or false?
That's true. And
not according to the Department of Energy under the Trump administration.
That's kind of a problem, right?
The EIA under this administration projects that wind $56, combined cycle turbines, including natural gas, $77. So according to the administration's own data, that is not true. Enough of the games. The American people want lower energy costs. They want.
Okay. Good Don Diener. I mean, that guy, he's totally, I can't even say what I want to say. Be careful. Okay, here's Doug Burgum. Here's Doug. They're playing. Now he's like, he hates windmills because of Trump. And he's like sitting here, and they played his own audio when he was governor, like singing the praises about it. Like, and every one of these people needs to have their noses rubbed in shit, just like this.
I think we need the audio.
Become the 6th leading producer of wind. We're not slowing down. So now they're
his own state, North Dakota, where he was governor.
Over 2,000 wind turbines in North Dakota. We know that a number of those.
The answer as to why someone this rich and that unbelievably old decided that they want to go work for the Trump administration in their final golden years, their so-called golden years, it's ego. It's ego. And he deserves it because of that reason.
Blades are manufactured right here in Grand Forks.
We will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us.
So my question is simple. Who is right about wind energy, Governor Burgum or President Trump?
This is so fucking good.
I would just say the thing that I've heard many times today is that this is the lowest
in the country for wind energy.
I would,
the highest in the
I would
country?
like nothing better than for you to play the entire hour of my speech,
I
which
watched
includes.
it. But let me ask you this again: what percentage of North Dakota's energy, electricity, came from renewables by the time you left office?
It depends when
Across a full year, on average.
It was a small.
35.
This guy had more noises come out of him in this fucking hearing than actual words.
35% from wind, another 5% or so from solar, 40% overall.
Okay. The Secretary of the Interior was governor of a state that had 40% of its energy come from renewable sources, 35% from windmills. That is absolutely staggering when you compare it to the fact that Donald Trump hates windmills, claims they kill whales, falsely believes that somehow the noise causes cancer because they told him, but the they is not the American Cancer Society, who's like, that's actually completely stupid and false. And then we're supposed to be in China. We're supposed to sit across a table from like the 5-year plan people in China and get respected with this. I promise you, the memos going around their diplomatic corps, their equivalent of the State Department, are like, they are probably so incredibly, brutally, just honest and horrific and insulting, and because that's the reality that we have. Donald Trump is, a sex offender. Donald Trump is a liar. Donald Trump is low IQ. Donald Trump is a sociopath. Donald Trump is a complete mockery of himself. Donald Trump chooses to exist outside of actual reality because he fucking wants to be lied to, even in a war. That's what it says. That's the memos that are going around inside the diplomatic corps and the government of China. Probably of Madagascar, Ghana, everywhere. I know politicians in some smaller countries on different continents in like the over, and I talk to them multiple times a week. I will say at least 10. And the number one thing, the first thing I hear is the same shit you hear from a lot of Americans is like, I'm trying to teach my kids the difference between right and wrong. And what ends up, and you know what it is? You know what it is? I can't, you got Donald Trump, like, threatening to wipe out a civilization. And I'm trying to tell my kid that like, he shouldn't like take it, he shouldn't take something from his brother, like a ball, a toy, whatever. And how do I do that when Trump, like, if my kids hear what Trump says, what am I going to do? How do I say right and wrong matters, except for the leader of the most powerful, formerly most powerful country in the world? That's up for debate now between China, honestly, for reasons I'll show you in a second. That's what I hear, the first thing. And the second thing I hear is like, this guy's a fucking joke. This guy's a joke. What is your country? The things that made America great, Donald Trump has eviscerated and done so in a way that will haunt our foreign policy and our domestic politics. I mean, unless we really scrub this shit clean and hold people accountable in very public and frankly humiliating ways for decades and decades and decades and decades. This whole thing, like, for example, that it was not true that George Bush did the global war on terrorism or invaded Iraq for oil. That was just not the point, okay? I don't believe so. I don't think there's any evidence to support that. But can we ever, and I'm telling you, but like, there's a lot of superstitions that go through different parts of the world, especially the ones with less education and development, which are the ones we're most likely to be militarily embroiled in. And those superstitions and those rumors about, we can't say that anymore. We're not here to steal your resources. We're not here for oil. We care about right and wrong. No, you don't. No, you don't. You tried to use critical minerals. Was it Namibia? Sorry, I may not be saying it exactly right. But there was a country recently where we were trying to literally blackmail people with their fucking AIDS medication that we had contracted. We had promised to give them in order to take their critical minerals. Okay. Like literally AIDS, HIV infected babies dying because we wanted to come fucking steal like a thief in the night. Breaking promises to give those sick kids and those people the medication that they were relying upon because we promised it, unless they gave up the very blood of the very soul of their earth, okay? The very soul of their country. Like the oil in Venezuela, the critical minerals in this country, the critical minerals they try to do in Ukraine, all those agreements signed under duress. And I every single country that signed any agreement with Trump under these threats, under these illegal coercive threats, which are a basic violation of international law to use coercion like that, those are not enforceable, and they should be like, fuck you, invade me. Because you know what, the next president's not going to. But I just like this is embarrassing. This is humiliating. We're getting laughed at. I mean, like, we see, like, it's like Trump has like this cocoon, this alternate reality that follows him around. He wants to be lied to about the Iran war, right? Like, he literally wants to be lied to. He wants to be told it's going great and we're obliterating stuff. That's who he surrounded himself with. So he's just like a little baby in a cotton ball, taking his little naps, seeing little Epsteins, not sheep, jumping over the fence so he can have his warm milk and fall asleep, right? The guy probably falls asleep and wakes up to like Epstein's face. Maybe when he looks in the mirror too. The crazy thing, even Epstein thought Trump was evil. I should tell you something. Jesus fucking, he's like, this is where we are. Epstein doesn't have to deal with it because he's dead now. And we've become a fucking joke.
One of the highest in the country.
No.
Yeah, that is the
you're
data
using
from
rated.
Rotate.
You're using the rated number, not the actual
Exactly.
production.
So
number.
reclaiming my time, I'll just say again: were you wrong as governor in North Dakota to expand wind energy?
I wasn't wrong because we expanded.
Exactly, and it's
we
not
no
wrong.
because we expanded
And it's
base
not
load.
wrong.
We did
Reclaiming
not
my time.
over rotate.
Yeah, but as a percentage basis, renewables expanded during your time as governor. And so again, why don't other states around the country deserve the same? We do. In Rhode Island and other states around the country, we deserve access to these wind and solar projects that you are blocking. That's what gets me, is that you know better. When you were governor, to your credit, when you were governor, you did the right thing by the people of North.
Very effective questioning. He's not really making it personal. They should really have like for incoming Democrats, they should have this, and they should have initial training on asking questions. It's basic stuff. It's not like it's stuff that you have to work at. It's not the kind of thing that you're just like nobody's like born with it per se. And they should have refresher training on it, like continuing education. I mean that's what a party that wanted to be effective would actually do.
North Dakota, you allowed them access to cost-competitive renewable energy, wind in particular, and also solar. But now you are blocking major utility-scale projects.
I just want to say, nice try that you would try to say that somehow you know more about power in North Dakota.
It's called batteries. We've had them since.
Oh, this was so good. This was so good. Okay. He's talking to someone who looks or in a wagon. Okay.
But
Yes.
when the
That's how
wind
old he is.
doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, they
Mr.
produces
Secretary,
nothing.
we have these things called batteries. We've had them since Benjamin Franklin.
Ping,
They
ping,
come
ping.
in much bigger sizes than this. And we are expanding battery capacity at roughly double a year. We add the equivalent of 5 or 6.
This is so good. Okay, so he looks like someone who's either came back to life. Okay, he looks like he's either a zombie or someone whose favorite food is some form of roadkill. That's what Eric Trump is. Okay. Here's another good thing. This is
coatings.
I'm not familiar with that.
So Atlantic Industrial Coatings is
you're saying-
company. Are you familiar with that company?
You're saying Atlantic?
Atlantic Industrial Coatings.
okay. This is a question about a $13 million no bid contract that Donald Trump gave to recoat the Lincoln reflecting pool, which is that long body of water between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Okay. It looks awful. Okay. I mean, we just saw that above. And Trump gave a $13 million no bid contract to a completely unqualified company. We're going to look at their website in a moment. And you will come to understand that these people have no business doing major work on one of our most treasured monuments, probably the most treasured, like sacred place in any of the monuments we have in this country. And they did a no bid contract because Trump wanted to go around it, right? And Trump initially said, I picked these people. Then he denied it and said, no, actually, Doug Bergen picked them. And you're going to see this lie about the fact that Trump denying that he actually picked this unqualified contractor and gave him a no bid deal, meaning other companies didn't get to bid on it, so the price could come down for the American taxpayer. $13 million for this unqualified contractor. Wait till you see their website. That's what this questioning is about. Joe Neguse, no wasted movement, always good questions, sharp to the point. This guy is awesome.
Correct. Are you familiar with it, or?
I'm not familiar with Atlantic.
Okay, Atlantic Industrial Coatings is
Remember, he said he wasn't familiar with him. That'll come back in a
the
second.
company that received Memorial Reflective Pool. Are you familiar with that now? Is that,
I'm familiar with that project, yes.
but not the company?
I wasn't familiar with that specific name of the company.
Okay. You're familiar with the fact that a company received a no-bid contract to do the work on that project, correct?
I'm familiar that we're working on a project to restore the reflecting pool before the summer season with record attendance, yes.
Yes, and that was through a no-bid $13 million contract, right? That's not up for debate. That's a
But
fact.
I'm positive that we followed all of the required bidding rules, so
How could you be positive when you said you don't know anything about the contractor? Ding dong.
Well, let me ask you that
you're
question
emphasizing the word no bid like something nefarious has happened. and
Okay,
I
then
reject
explain
that
it to me.
thesis.
Here, I'll ask you the question. My understanding of the federal procurement rules is that a no-bid contract is reserved for situations where, quote, any delay would cause serious injury to the government. What is your
We're building up to a crescendo. This is just wait.
proposition is what? That there'd be serious injury to the government if this company didn't get the $13 million contract to do this particular project right now? Is that
Well, I think we do have a sense of urgency. I mean, we got handed a record amount of deferred maintenance. We had 19 fountains across the city that didn't work.
that's the
82 homeless
serious
sites.
injury to
1,000
the government? The serious injury to the government?
I'm not
It's beautiful.
I suppose a lawyer could decide that, but I think that maybe all of us could agree that we would want to have our nation's capital looking great for the 250th. I mean, this is a common sense decision.
I would say, just last question, who picked this company? Because President Trump, a few months ago, in a New York Times article said, I have a guy who's unbelievable at doing swimming pools. He looked at it, sir, we can do.
And like 150 feet wide? Swimming pool? Actually, here we go. Okay, let's just, how many Olympic swimming pools would fit within the Lincoln reflecting pool? It's thinking because it's like, dumb question, trying to do the. Okay. If you had oh my God. How many of these pools? I know a guy. Okay. 25 Olympic-sized swimming pools would fit in the Lincoln reflecting pool. And by the way, the geology, the stone, the design, like everything about it is totally different. I have a guy that knows pools. So I'm going to let him do the Lincoln reflecting pool. I know a gardener. So I'm going to let him go build the Taj Mahal. Like, what are you talking about? Well, we're going to see. Trump said he's told the New York Times that I know a guy.
A few months ago, in a New York Times article said, I have a guy who's unbelievable at doing swimming pools. He looked at it. He called me up. He said, sir, we can do something on it. Last night, he posted on Truth Social, also, I did not give out the contract. Interior did to a contractor I did not know and have never used before. So Interior, he's talking about you. Did you give this $13 million no-bid contract to this company that's never done?
I love how Trump hangs his people out to dry. It is so amazing, okay? Every one of these people deserves exactly what's coming to them. Why you said, you were so egotistical. You couldn't just take your hundreds of millions of dollars, $1 billion, whatever the hell it is, and go be happy in North Dakota or wherever it is he was governor, somewhere in the Midwest, and go, hang out. He could have ridden horses in his giant ranch, hanging out with his grandkids. No, he had to go to Washington and help Donald Trump be a fucking dictator. Said, you know what? You get to sit here, get humiliated, and I'm going to make fun of you, and so will many other people.
Business with the federal government before?
The gentleman's time has expired.
I think the secretary can answer the question.
The gentleman that you're talking about that has done construction work regarding pools and fountains for President Trump is not part of this contract. He's just a citizen that cared about it and offered some free advice. There's nothing there in terms of any dollars flowing to anybody that worked for President Trump.
Nothing there?
Who picked? Are you familiar?
Okay. Then what? There's something there. There's something there. Look at that. Like that patchwork quilt. That looks horrible. All right. The metaphorical and almost literal defecation upon one of our most treasured monuments, from Lincoln to Washington, and now Trump in the middle. This is where Martin Luther King, the March on Washington, the I Have a Dream speech, all the great moments. I mean, I've been there for Ukraine rallies. They better hope it overgrows with algae. Otherwise, if it's clear, it's gonna look awful. Okay, disgusting. But you know who it is that you really need to. One thing you need to understand. Okay, you want to know who we gave $13 million to in a no-bid contract? Something that should have cost just to paint it. I mean, $100,000 or something. Okay, 25 Olympic swimming pools. That's the area of it. And $13 million to paint something the size of an Olympic swimming pool. Not the depth, just the size of it. You can't do that for under $1 million. You can't do that for under $5 million. You can't do it for under 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. It's got to be $13 million, right? What kind of company did we just give $13 million to? Well, look at this website, but let me play an appropriate soundtrack, all right? Because this website looks like something since before the internet, okay? I can't believe this is not on like the Wayback Machine. Let me play a soundtrack that's appropriate to the website of the company, which tells you everything about who they are, because this is their face to the world. Let's go. That's the website? That's the website we gave $13 million to? Who designed that website? What is this website? Let's get in touch? It's like 9-point font. What? Services? They've done 4 projects? Are you kidding me? What in the hell? This is it. Pipes, culverts. What? A 36-inch pipe with a failed culvert. That's not the Lincoln Memorial. That's some buried shit. You can't even click on these pictures. Okay? Click, ding dong. No, because we are in the era of this. We're in the era with this, with that, 13 million, all over our treasured monument right there. God. This is like Jason and the Argonauts. You know the stop motion like Jason and the Argonauts? Oh, that old. Okay, you don't remind here. We're going to go this. We're going to a little detour. It's like fucking Robot Chicken. I mean, like, okay. The same guy that produced this movie is the one who made this ancient fucking website. Look at this. I mean, that's how old it is. I can't even click on these pictures. We gave him $13 million?
And you saw nothing of them after that?
No, I didn't. He made a website. It's a no-bid contract. You've got mail. You've got pictures. Hello. Welcome to AOL. Maybe he can paint the fucking reflecting pool. What is this? What is this? What is this website? You literally, okay. Service area? Contact? It's a map. I mean, this right here is like fucking, this is like the 23rd century compared to the rest of it. Who do you contact? Look how small that is in this entire web. Like, what? This is pathetic. This is the landing page. Okay. The internet version of this website, sorry, the movie version of this website is this. That is the most ancient-ass website I have seen that I can ever remember seeing right now. Like, specific website, specific location. Like, okay, I mean, seriously. Find out more. Oh! Okay, so, like, look at this. Look at this website. All right, so it starts here, and it's like, okay, find out more. Click who we are. Get started. Service. So, like, it doesn't even go anywhere. It doesn't even go anywhere. Find out more. Get started. Well, they've painted a fucking roof. A single roof. You can't click on it. TDS. Trump Derangement Syndrome. SDS. Okay. So, safety data. That... Wait a second. The coatings they use are acute toxicity, inhalation, skin corrosion, irritation, serious eye damage. Why is there skull and crossbones? You can't even breathe it. Is that why? Is this the product they use? Oh, God. I hope they're using something else. But it appears like they have two types of paint they use. That is like, that's their entire repertoire, right? Two things. Okay, so this is their website. Two types of products they use. Oh, there it is. Standard medium gray, tranquil blue. That's what it is. New coat. This is okay. What is this supposed to be used for? I bet. I bet this shit is not supposed to be used for this. Oh my God. New Code STMF has uses in general as well as various industrial applications, including mining and mineral processing industries. Okay, is the Lincoln reflecting pool, is that fucking mining? Hold on, we need to. I want to see something real quick here. Sorry. So Lincoln reflecting pool. Why are they cutting stuff? They have no idea what they're doing. Okay, what I'm trying to see is, are these guys actually oh fuck. The people actually applying it are wearing breathing protection. Probably not the right kind of stuff, but oh God, somebody needs to get a picture of the boxes they're using. Okay. You see these, okay, I just like the fact that they're in these Tyvek suits and they've got like at least some breathing protection. Like this is probably the same toxic shit right here. Wow. Look at it. Right there. That's the sign for basically like that's poison and if you inhale it, it'll permanently fuck up your lungs. Okay? Toxic if inhaled. Causes skin irritation. Serious eye irritation. Asthma. Causes damage to organs through prolonged or repeated exposure. Sounds like a great thing to put on a monument that people visit by the thousands and thousands and thousands. The great idea. You idiot. Because, like, we can't expand the pictures because we have ancient fucking Jason and the Argonauts website here. But do you notice how what you see on the screen right here, okay, this is, what is that, a power plant? It looks like a power plant. I can't tell because it's so small. And these are not the kinds of places that are like, so none of these places are basically, these are, okay. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm very interested to see what they're actually using. Okay. So that was fun. It was to learn that they're putting poisonous shit down. Russia's burning. Great. Okay. Here we go. Here you go, MAGA. You ready for this? 500,000 Chinese students. You know, people forget about this stuff. People forget about how Trump got his ass country kicked, okay? All right? Not just kicked, but like kicked with a big old country boot by China in the trade war. Listen to what bullshit this is. Listen to what Trump says. Trump lost a trade war with China. We totally got owned by China, and we had to accept 500,000 foreign students that are going to take spots at our best universities from Americans. I thought I saw that America was for Americans. I thought I saw all this white nationalist imagery in all your social media messaging, you know, Department of Interior, ICE, DHS, whatever. America's for Americans, you remember? Apparently not. Apparently not. America's for Chinese kids when every one of whom is a security threat in a totalitarian dictatorship. That's just a basic fact. America is for Chinese kids because Trump is for Trump. That's the reality. Okay? 500,000. Oh my God. And you know why? Listen, Trump, the multiculturalist. I think it's good that people come from other countries and they learn our culture. Wait a second. Who is this fucking guy? Who is this guy? Like he likes other cultures? He's woke. He's gone woke. He's gone DEI. Because it's not him. He's just lying because he got his ass whipped in a trade war.
Near one of their military installations.
Yeah, look,
I don't
multicultural.
I don't look. It's not that I love it. You want to see farm prices drop? You want to see farmers lose a lot of money? Just take that out of the market.
Oh, on top of that, for the Chinese to purchase Chinese farmland, like he is fucking us over in real time.
But they've had a lot of land for a long time. Obama did nothing about it.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Obama now. Yeah, so Obama did nothing, so I should actually continue to do more of nothing. That's your logic? God, he's such a pathetic coward taking ownership of nothing ever. The draft dodger in him permeates all of that he touches.
They bought a lot of it during the Obama administration. He did good students. I could
humiliating.
I don't want any students. Is a very insulting thing to say to a country.
Oh, really? It is? What do you say to Haiti? What do you say to Somalia? What do you say to African American countries that are primarily not white? Okay, is that what you say? What do you say to countries in South America? Well, you probably will want a lot from Russia. We know that. But
they would then immediately go out and start building universities.
Sorry, this is just extraordinary. Listen to Donald Trump and how much he completely does a 180 on everything he's ever campaigned on because he got his ass kicked in a trade war by China and he will sell out his own kids, I mean, whatever, right, for himself.
They've had a lot of land for a long time. Obama did nothing about it. It's 500,000 students, they come, good students.
How does he know if they're good students? They're a security threat. Every single one of them. They have to be. It's just a lot. I'm not saying bad about Chinese people. I mean, if you live in a dictatorship and a totalitarian government like China, they're going to pressure your family unless you do what they want. That's just basic understanding of national security and how leverage works, period.
I could tell them, I don't want any students, is a very insulting thing to say to a country.
That's exactly what you've said to Venezuelans for whom you've tried to end TPS, temporary protected status. It's what you said to Somalians. You try to end temporary protected status to people from Sudan. Like anybody, Haiti. I mean, like any of these countries that he's tried to end temporary protected status, every single one of them, he has said exactly what he's denying here.
They would then immediately go out and start building universities all over China.
Oh no, they're going to build universities in China? Okay. Who the fuck cares?
But if you don't have those students, good students, by the way, if you don't, and we do another thing, if they're good and they want to stay in America, we won't give them a green card and things like that. And that not only them, but other countries. But if you want to see a university system die, take 500,000 people out of it.
Fine. They don't deserve to exist, okay? Like our universities and our federally guaranteed student loans, which adds to our deficit, do not exist to serve fucking China or you. It shouldn't. I thought this is what Republicans believe, that like with the free market. The free market is that if an industry doesn't have support to exist by itself without government subsidy, without letting in 500,000 security risk, it shouldn't fucking exist. Again, a betrayal of everything he campaigned on, of everything that Republicans claim to stand for, and you can just see it right here, all right? This is a complete humiliation. It's going to continue day by day by day. Republicans stand for nothing. Like Stuart Stevens said in his book, it was all a lie. It's all a lie. It's all a lie.
And the ones that won't be hurt are the top schools. The top schools will do fine, but your lower schools, the ones that don't do quite as well, they'll be dying all over the place. I frankly
But then it won't matter because we don't need them without the Chinese. This makes no logical sense. What are you talking about? If they're going to die without the Chinese students, then they shouldn't exist. Again, who are we serving here? I thought it was America first. I thought America was for Americans.
I think that it's good that people come from other countries and they learn our culture, and many of them want to stay here. I think it's good.
I thought he just said that the people who want to stay here, we're not going to give them green cards and stuff. I mean, the things that he said. Oh my God.
Not everybody agrees with me.
I actually enjoy this. I actually enjoy, like, I want him to leave NATO. I want the reality and the truth of who he is. Just rip the fucking Band-Aid off and dive into the infection. That's what I want. Because that's what he is. Okay. Now they're not sending 4,000 troops to Poland. They were supposed to. You know, like any Republican, like if you dare to hold on, like, just, you are a bootlicker. You are somebody, you live in a fucking feudalistic political hierarchy. That's what it is. That's the reality. This man hates America. He's stealing from all of us. He is a disgusting sex offender. And look at him. Look at him. You know, there's the Japanese word for shrimp means old man of the sea. Does that not look like a shrimp? Does not tell me that does not look like a shrimp or a creature that spends the majority of its life living underground and has had Darwinian adaptations to living underground. Like, I don't know, like those worms, like, you know, like the things that the sea snakes. I mean, like, tell me that's not, like, tell me.
And it doesn't sound like a very conservative position. And
because it's not. Oh my God, even he was self-aware enough to understand that.
I'm a conservative guy. I'm really a common sense guy, I think, more than
the common sense being, there's a lot of dumb people out there. I can just lie to them constantly, and the media will just want attention rather than telling the truth. Like, is why they have the First Amendment protection for their profession, the only profession that has a protection under the First Amendment. They're all going to be motivated by money. They're all going to be motivated by attention. That's my common sense. It's lizard brain type shit. He is right in that one sense.
a conservative guy. I think MAGA is common sense. You know, people understand.
MAGA's common sense? That they are not.
We want strong borders. We want strong military. We want good education. We want low interest rates. We want. But
I think people would argue they worry about, do they have nefarious intentions?
I know, and we worry about that. And honestly,
you know, I mean, Cash Patel's on top of it. 500,000 security risks.
You know, they do things.
I
We
can see,
do
like,
things
he's
to
melting.
them. It's a very, very fine line. The whole thing with students. So they have 500,000 students. And
how many American students go to China? Let's find out. China is doing the AI thing. Is doing to America what AI is trying to do to American people. Okay. So AI is basically using the American people to learn everything it needs to learn to then turn us into nutrition and food for the upper class, for the AI oligarch class. Right. And so, like, they're taking pirated books, they're taking pirated music, and they're stealing our ideas from the internet every single day. When you have these user agreements, and, like, what are you going to do? Like, I can pretty much guarantee you it is just like you had arbitration clauses. Arbitration is like a form of private court. Like, every time you buy a washing machine, you use a class action waiver. And it's like, sir, just click on the screen where it says accept. You're accepted. Class action waiver, arbitration clause. You have to pay for the judge if you ever sue us in a private court. Most people are not aware of this. It's the same thing with, like, any kind of terms of service for any social media. You know, you agree we can train ourselves, you know, train everything on their AI models, blah, 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 blah. It's in a contract of adhesion. You don't actually agree to it. There is no informed consent. There is no, like, you know, bargain for terms. Take it or leave it basis. Like, you get fucking thrown out to live in the woods like Unabomber, or you actually get to live here with social media, but they get to train on everything that you put on the internet. Okay, you've somewhere signed some agreement that gets can be used by AI, and then they basically steal all that with no compensation, and for you or anybody else, and then they use that to take all our jobs and replace us. That's what China is effectively doing to America by saying, okay, we're going to learn from your universities. We're going to like take all that knowledge because Trump lost a trade war and he only cares about himself. And he cried uncle, had to take 500,000 of our students. They're going to learn all your best stuff, hoover it up, go back to China. And then we're going to use that to defeat you in the global superpower race. It's kind of, it's the same thing that it's humiliating. They're using us against ourselves through Trump because we're dumb enough to vote for him. We're being punished that all these people put this moron in power. And you know what? At some point, there was going to be consequences. I'm just curious here. Like, what is the number? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The country with the greatest number of foreign students in America is India with 363,000. China is at 266,000 now. This is going to double the amount of Chinese students in America. Wow. Holy crap.
Our university system does great. It does great. You want to screw it up? Take 500,000 students out, and you're gonna see bankruptcies at the lower end of good colleges, but they're not known or whatever. You're gonna have a lot of problems. So, it's something I'm always looking.
Again, they shouldn't exist. I thought this was like this is communism right here. This is communism. It is finding a reason to make government these government insured enterprises, here colleges with federally guaranteed student loans, exist when the market does not support it. That's what this is.
But it's a very insulting thing to tell a country, we don't want your people in our schools. I mean, it really is. Now, I'll have people say, oh, that's a terrible thing. It is a very insulting thing. And it's very interesting. It's something that didn't come up today. Came up last time. But I will tell you that school systems don't want that to happen because you won't have much of a school system.
All right, Mr.
Okay. So there you go. Giving it all up, giving the whole game away. This is everything.
I would assume,
Yep.
In Beijing, if I wanted to buy...
Just look at Hannity's face. Look at you.
Other
Just look at you.
Your position. Strong military. We want good education. We want low interest rates. We want. But
I think people would argue they worry about did they...
Look at him. He's just trying. All that makeup on. Oh, man. Oh, wow. How pathetic. How pathetic. He's flipping through his notebook after he leaves. Does he think like the Chinese that don't have their shit together enough to understand, to see that? That betrays an absolute fucking weakness and lack of confidence too. Of course they're going to see that. Yeah. Okay, so hold on one second. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, so this thing where Trump, like, okay, so he's creating, I didn't talk about this, this $1.7 billion. Okay, so he sued the IRS on a bullshit claim, all right? And so, like I talked about earlier, like he basically has used lawsuits as a form of a glorified bribe. Okay, that's what it is. Frivolous lawsuits and a settlement as a form of a glorified bribe. They're not actually adverse parties. All right, the ABC settlement, the CBS settlement, which enabled Trump so that he could later do authoritarian stuff against people who actually don't have the millions and billions of dollars to fight back. So these billion-dollar companies basically sell out the middle and lower class by enabling and increasing Trump's confidence to continue with authoritarianism against people who don't fight back like they do. So he brings a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS for disclosure of his tax records. By statute, he's allowed to get $1,000 for that. So what ends up happening is this $1,000 claim turns into $10 billion, and then his former criminal defense attorney, who owes him a duty of loyalty, okay? You cannot, as a lawyer, sue a former client on behalf of another client. You can't sue a former client on behalf of another, not because you have a billing dispute, but because of like a former client. You can't do that without. Technically, there's an issue there with whether there's a duty of loyalty and you need a conflict waiver. Okay, so he sues the IRS, which is being represented basically by his former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, and wants to reach a $10 billion settlement. And the judge is like, you guys are actually on the same side, okay? You're on both sides of the versus line in the pleading and in the litigation. It says Trump versus DOJ, but that's not actually what's happening because it's your former attorney representing them, and there's no good faith basis for this amount. And federal courts do not have jurisdiction over fake lawsuits. They don't have controversy unless there's an actual concrete case or controversy where the parties are at like this, okay, actually fighting each other in good faith. There's no federal court jurisdiction there. It's a part of the doctrine of separation of powers. It is a constitutional concept and requirement. One of the limiting principles of our courts. Super important. So she's like, she's going to bring in, outside counsel to look at this. Are these guys actually versed? And of course, it's going to right away. They'd be like, no, it's $1,000 claim. How's he getting $10 billion? This makes no sense. It's going to double his overall wealth. And so what does Trump do? Well, okay, maybe I'll drop my $10 billion claim for a $1.7 billion, basically a judgment fund that Trump will control to pay January 6ers. That's right. He's taking $1.7 billion to be the arbiter to settle lawsuits on behalf of the federal government. He's sort of taking over the job of what the Attorney General would do to pay people who try to overthrow the government on his behalf. Stealing money to pay like fucking mercenaries. In fact, I mean, that's a fact, to pay effectively like brown shirt type people who tried to overthrow the government violently on his behalf. And included in that mix are a ton of people who've engaged in horrible crimes against children and all kinds of other stuff since then. So it goes from like worse to even worse. That's what he's doing. $1.7 billion to pay people to try to overthrow the government, and Trump will have complete control of the settlement fund. Not authorized by statute, not overseen by Congress, not appropriated in any way. Just open up the treasury, money to his criminals, mafia shit, in the dumbest imaginable way possible. Okay. Look at how Trump is just kissing ass right here. Look at him. America. I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking. I mean, like, this is so humiliating and pathetic. And I hope every person who claims they're ever Republican, there you go. Look at him. Look at him. Two hands, Trump. Trump, he literally, does he have knee pads? He's going to get on his knees any moment. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, God. An eagle just broke its wing somewhere. He's punking. Like, Donald Trump is getting humiliated on Taiwan. Listen to what he said. So Trump said, "You're a great leader." He told his host, who he admires for his powerful control over a nation of 1.4 billion people. He admires it. Yeah, he has Putin, the baby killer, who just dropped an entire apartment complex with a fucking multi-million-dollar cruise missile on the wall above his granddaughter in the Oval Office. So, of course, he admires just genocidal maniacs like Xi Jinping. He admires it. And that's who we are. We have a dictator, a fucking criminal, a rapist sitting in the Oval Office. Who admires this? Who put all those Muslims, all those Uyghurs into all those concentration camps right now. Aliens looking down on us would say, "You are an evil, hideous, and disgusting people, you humans." And other than, like, if he's talking about our leadership, he's talking about with the Chinese leadership, talking about Russian leadership, no debate. Once to 20, so I say to everybody, Mr. Xi unsurprisingly spent little time Thursday on flattery. Once the 21 gun salute and precision marching was, done by the People's Liberation Army. When they say Liberation Army or people of the Democratic Republic of Congo or Democratic Republic of North Korea, it's not. It's not liberating anybody. It's imprisoning people. The red line was Taiwan. He plunged right away into setting boundaries to the two countries' relations. The red line was Taiwan, he said, making it abundantly clear that Mr. Trump's effort at rapprochement could crash on takeoff if he interferes with China's long-term effort to take control of the self-governing island. I mean, honestly, Jinping, what he should do is he's being calculated about trying to approach Trump about Taiwan. He should dive in. He should dive all the way in and be like, "Hey, we're just going to invade Taiwan. Is that cool? Is that cool?" And Trump would be like, "Yeah, whatever, you're a great leader." The U.S. must handle the Taiwan issue with the utmost caution. The warning came minutes into his public remarks at the Great Hall of Fame. Right away, he's right on Taiwan. What a slap in the face. What a humiliation. What an embarrassment. Mr. Xi arrived highly scripted, leaving no doubt that for all of China's problems, the moment when China acts as pure superpower had arrived. Deflation, depopulation, the bursting of the real estate bubble. At every turn, as he began his two-day trip to China, Mr. Trump sounded conciliatory, the exact opposite of his portrayals of China in public appearances back home. Yep, Trump is a little bitch when it comes to China. He's such a little bitch. Look at him. God, it's pathetic. Fucking warning us about Taiwan. We should end this stupid one China policy. We should be like, fuck you, we're gonna fight for Taiwan. Bring it, you don't like it. God, we suck. Oh, Trump was trying to talk about... Oh, my God. This is pathetic. All right. This is it's such a disgrace. Look at this fucking clown, too. Tesla is having its entire... It's basically... It's going to be like... It's being fucking run into the ground by these Chinese EV companies. They're eating his lunch. We brought all these executives pathetically looking to trying to make deals and stuff. China didn't bring anybody. They don't need us. They're already eating our lunch, man. God. Oh, this is pathetic. This is so disgusting. Fuck. Fuck, do you even spell his name? I don't even know how to spell it. What do you spell this fucking guy's name? Whatever. He's like an obedient house pet to Xi. Yep. God, what a just disgusting. It's a bus driver in Odessa. Awesome guy. I mean, if it wasn't for Ukraine, I wouldn't have much hope in humanity right now. Oh my God, now he's... he's... Okay, so he goes, listen, it was all about the nukes. Trump said they can't have a nuclear weapon. We can't let them, threaten the world. And then what happens? The moment he goes to China, he becomes a complete weakling who backtracks on everything he said because Xi Jinping owns him and is an ally of Iran. Listen to this. Look at this right here. Look at how pathetic Donald Trump is. This is utterly humiliating. Again, I thought it was about nukes. I thought they can't have a nuclear weapon. And look, he says, I don't think it's necessary to have the enriched uranium out of Iran except from a public relations standpoint. I think it's important for the fake news that we get the uranium. Who is this person? This is actually the same guy that was just saying again and again and again that they can't have nukes? What? Who is this? Nothing matters. Nothing means anything. He will sell out Anybody. Anybody. His newborn baby, he would sell him out. There you go. Take it. I don't want this kid. Can I have some money? I mean, like, we're going to listen to this in a second. Donald Trump. Okay. I'm just curious, how many times in the last 30 days has Donald Trump said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, they can't have this enriched uranium, it has to come out, and we just rejected one of their settlement offers because it didn't include, he thinks like it didn't include the nuclear material, right? The nuclear dust, as he calls it. And right here, he gives up on it. Curiously, right after he meets with China. Everything's for sale. Everything is for sale because of China. Okay. Between 25 and 40 public instances, "25 times minimum in the past 30 days, Donald Trump has said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And now he's immediately backtracking after meeting with China, the ally of Iran. Do you think that's a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. We have the weakest president in the history of America. It's going to be more and more horrific bombshell statements and backtracks like this. This guy is weak. He wants to invade Venezuela, but when he invades Iran, he gets more than he can handle. He wants to invade Cuba, but he won't fuck with Russia when they commit all kinds of genocide, war crimes, attack our people with Havana syndrome, this, that, and the other, try to blow up airplanes coming to our country. None of it matters, okay? Because he's fundamentally a draft dodger and a coward in every aspect of his life.
That think you have to get the dust, which is the enriched uranium, or have you been told that maybe...
The look on Hannity's face is so incredible. Like, this guy looks like he's passing a gallstone right now. This is your legacy, buddy. Enjoy it. It's only going to get worse.
Generals that I've spoken to that think you have to get the dust...
That there was actual principles and that he doesn't lie about literally everything. Like, what? Don't you know how to play the game, dude?
Which is the enriched uranium, or have you been told that maybe a way to entomb it that they could never get to it?
So we were thinking about doing it early on, and it would take a while. It would take a week and a half. That's a long time to be in enemy territory. No, you're going to move these massive amounts of granite. You know, it's a granite. Granite's the hardest stone.
Oh,
it's amazing that it's you know what. Those were really powerful bombs that we used. And don't forget, we hit it on top of that. We hit Tomahawks on top of that. No, I don't think it's necessary, except from a public relations standpoint. I think it's important for the fake news that we get it. I'm the one that said we're going to get it, and we're going to get it.
Wait, does he recognize that he's full of shit right there?
That said we're going to get it, and we're going to get it. We have our eye on...
Okay, wait a second. It's not important to get it. It's only fake news that we need to get it, and now you say that we are going to get it?
On it. So Space Force was my creation. I did that. What
the fuck? Why is he talking about Space Force? What does that do with anything?
Most important of all of our military.
So it can be entombed.
Yeah, it can be.
With eyes on it.
It can be, but I'd rather get it, to be honest with you. It can be, a lot of things can happen, but, and even despite the statement that, you know, they can't get it.
I mean, wow, he's just backtracking on everything. This is insane. Okay. Incredible. Incredible. Oh, there's Modi again. This is a lie right here that there's no oil coming out of Karg Island. It just happened. They were just actually on, it was satellite or video, not video, but there was just imaging that they came out of, there was oil being pumped out of fucking Karg Island. Okay. Huh. Oh my God. And he doesn't even care. There's no oil coming out of Karg Island. Lie. People are finding other places to buy oil like Texas. So I don't want to say we're making a fortune. Who's making a fortune? I'm not making a fortune. Are you making a fortune? Is anybody making a fortune? Oh, wait. The fucking oil companies are making a fortune. He's really good. It's just like shitting on people. Wow. Oh my God. All right. Amazing.
These are men who lust for a world where the powerful do what they can and the rest of us suffer what we must. Jesus wept.
True. What is this?
Up a neighborhood cul-de-sac. The people living in the
The
Northwest
fuck are these
Atlanta
fucking
neighborhood
Waymos
say
doing, bro?
dozens end up circling their community. Channel 2
Maybe they're
Steve
there to
Malbach
pick up
is
those
on
AI
Wall Street
agents in
where
that
they want the Waymos to stop.
online, like that imaginary town where they all ended up
It's almost every little cul-de-sac around
committing
our area.
arson.
So I think it's a real problem.
Waymo after Waymo after Waymo enter this dead-end street, usually early in the morning.
I think yesterday morning we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7.
Neighbors on Battleview Drive started seeing the autonomous, driverless cars 2 months ago, but the groupings and large number of Waymos.
What the fuck is this?
We've got
Yeah, that's really weird. God, look at this. Holy shit. I mean, this looks like 9/11 kind of shit, you know? It's all right. I need to go lift weights in a minute here. Ooh, wait a second. This is a really good graphic. Okay. See all the trickle-down stuff? Listen, people believe in trickle-down economics. I mean, at one point, they fucked us. They created massive government debt. These boomers, baby boomers, squandered the greatest period through us, including people, the younger generations, before they were even born or even able to vote. It was, on top of that, backfilled everything so they could have money, and then everybody else would be screwed. They literally took out a credit card in basically the name in a minor's name, in an infant's name, and ran up the bill and just was like, "Fuck you, you pay it." That's exactly what the boomers did. That's exactly what the older generations did. That's exactly what the political class, the politicians, whatever class this did. And we, this stuff about we're going to lower taxes and it's going to trickle down. It didn't trickle down. Not only did it not trickle down, they created AI in this oligarch class to actually fucking take all our jobs. With no reverence for anything. Nothing means anything. Everything is a con under Donald Trump. I literally sound like a fucking socialist right now. Not even a socialist. I sound like a communist. Okay? But I'm not. This is communism right here. This isn't meritocracy. This isn't democracy. This is like state-sponsored theft using the mechanisms of power and government. This is more Stalinist than it is the original vision of this country. Oh, King Cobra, these things are awesome. Can you imagine getting bit in the ass with a fucking King Cobra? They have more venom. They have more venom than any other snake. And they can get up to 18 feet long. Oh, to Americans, to Israel's listen. Israel's a country with 10 million fucking people. Okay, there are half the countries in the world are bigger than Israel. Okay, the life of an Israeli means no more than the life of a Somalian. Period. Before God, if you believe anything different, you're a fake fucking Christian and you're not a fucking good person. Okay, so that needs to be this thing that we consider Israel before our own national. It's dumb, and it's dangerous. I mean, if we're going to get into weighing lives and stuff here, and you can eat shit. You need to eat the shit that Trump just said, that the uranium doesn't matter. The uranium doesn't matter in Iran. Remember that. That's right. Nothing. If it doesn't, he has to backtrack on everything. It's crazy. Hell yeah. Russia also attacked a World Central Kitchen. Yeah, who else attacked a World Central Kitchen? Yep. Okay. Look at this guy. This fucking clown right here. Kevin O'Leary is sitting there. I could have sworn he's Canadian. He seems... I feel like he was Canadian. Anyways, I'm pretty sure he's... to build a data center that, like, just like Utah is such a beautiful state, and the fucking appalling, disgusting nature of like having the biggest data center probably, I think, in the world, but at least in North America. There, of all places, oh my God, it's so fucking top pack. You should follow him. But like, fuck this guy. God. The Republican governor, candidate for governor, Scott Bottoms, interesting name, claims there's 50,000 Venezuelan gang members in Colorado. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's such ridiculous. Like, all the law enforcement all refutes it, of course. Okay, so this is actually interesting. Okay, is that basically, he's talking about albedo. Albedo is, in the winter, it's basically more indirect. In the summer, it's more direct. And what he's saying is that this is going to actually make the water hotter because the sun will, because the reflecting pool is only like 18 inches. And it's going to make it hotter, and there's going to be more algae. It's going to backfire because it's darker. I just hate these people so much. I hate these people who just like, just whatever Trump says. Yep. Okay. Wow. So this is a new Hezbollah FPV video. I mean, they're naturally going to get better and better at it. So they had two targeting a base simultaneously. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. So the base is already on fire. And one's going to hit. Oh, yeah. So we're doing, goddamn, that was pretty big explosion. That's also smart because they can get the propaganda from the first explosion. Look at that. I mean, hitting the front of the turret's not the best place. Under the gun, maybe. And that's the mantlet, is what it's called. Remember right. Oh, they did film it. Okay, that's so they're improving on that. What I mean is the fact, like, the FPV strikes for a public relations impact, for an emotional impact, which is like a key part of war, especially here, the public pressure that they want to put on Netanyahu and to like rally their recruitment base. It's important that for them, for Hezbollah, that they show not just an FPV flying into something, but that it blows it up, and then like that explosion is beamed back, so it can be shown. So it ends up on the Israeli internet and everything else. Okay, and so they did that here twice. I mean, there's no apparent countermeasures here. I mean, like. See, there it is right there. Interesting. Okay, I actually gotta go lift weights here in a minute. What are they talking about? Trump goes from the multiculturalist to claiming he cares about. Yep. Holy shit. Look at the size of that missile. Look at the size of that damn thing. Wow. 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 Okay. I mean, that, again, there's a couple different warheads that didn't explode. I don't know if that's from the same missile, but like these are 1,000-pound warheads in these KH-101s, multi-million-dollar cruise missiles. They wanted to drop, if this is the third one, they wanted to drop 3 apartment buildings in a single day and kill hundreds of people, innocent civilians. Oh my God. Russia killed the daughter of Ukraine's fallen soldier. Lyubava Yakovleva was only 12. Her father, Yefim, was killed in action 3 years ago. Lyubava's big sister is missing. Rescuers are trying to find her under the rubble. It's not just... Fuck. Her father died defending. Her father's a patriot. And they killed his 2 good little girls on top of that. The amount of pain that I'm sure they went through, that have gone through, and they lost their father. I fucking hate Russia. I don't want the country to. I don't want them to negotiate. I really don't want them to negotiate. I want them to be fucking destroyed. Oh man, I can't even say what's in my mind right now. I mean, this entire time.
Because they're dumb. They're dumb.
What?
It's D-U-M, I got rid of the B. So you're only changing one letter, right? E goes and the U comes. It's a dumb.
You know you take up more space in people's heads than any one person on the face.
Anyway, they're defective. I came up with a new name. I don't know if I should.
I know which one it is.
Democrats.
He
Because
said-
they're dumb. They're dumb. It's.
Yeah, you look
I got
smart.
rid of the B.
You look brilliant on TV yourself there, champ.
You talked about the president's on the prosecutor.
So you just need to understand that when you accept that MAGA politicians are traitors, they're evil, they should be in prison, and they hate our country, and they've sold us out. Yeah, that's really what you got going on here. This is really cool. I don't know. Oh my God. Wow.
And cooperation. I have urged the president to study the.
I can't listen to this. Like, I'll retweet this. What is wrong with his chin? Oh my God, he's got like a rug burn on his chin or something. What is he in? Like, what is he sitting in front of? Like, what is that? Jesus. You can make 50 TikTok videos a day about everything that happens in America. If I make like 15 and I'm like, I can not even keep it up. I mean, kind of, but... That's incredible. Okay. I gotta go lift weights, put a Russian flag on a punching bag and beat the crap out of it. Yeah, do my thing. This is a lot. Thanks for coming, guys. I don't know. This is just kind of therapeutic. Appreciate y'all. Remember, Trump is selling out our country. Keep fighting. We can win. Look at MAGA and Hungary. Everything will be okay.